Hello fans of Marvel heroes and friends of my channel, welcome to a new episode of this biggest system update ever for this free-to-play game called Marvel Heroes. My name is Wilfred and welcome to my channel. Now this episode I'll be covering quite a lot of topics because even for the various kind of patches and so on, there's a lot of changes in this test center environment. So I'll talk a little bit about what is going to change for your costume core, the new catalyst as well as Flourish. Touch onto a little bit on the crafting itself. Team Up has undergone quite a lot of changes, so I'm going to cover that as well. Personal difficulty slider is also live for us to test. You've been wondering all these cubes that you've been collecting, all these ancient forgotten devices that you will have, what will happen to them, what can you exchange and so on. I've got a little bit of insight on that as well. And also the attribute and the infinity system, in case you want to find out whether they have changed anything there or not. And last but not least, of course, traveling power because they have changed a little bit based on the feedback. Now the dash distance is covered a little bit further. I'm not quite sure how this is going to help the melee heroes while you are having in combat, because as you dash in, you probably need to dash back in again. Sorry, dash out, you need to go back in again. But I think for range it's kind of nice. It seems to be further. But charge up also becomes 0.75 second if I'm not wrong, instead of 1 second. But it's still clunky. Clunky is clunky. It's just one of those things. So my take is that they still insist on this dash change. They are not going to, despite I don't think this is popular, but I think I foresee a lot of us either we run out of charges during some of these fights that when we want to move, we can't move and we get a little bit frustrated, or we just hoard all the charges and really want to save it until the moment that we need to jailbreak or dash out from some killing kind of like a mechanic and become very slow because you kind of like, just save it for the future, which you kind of like, because it's hard to count all these charges anyhow. But anyway, it is what it is. Now, first thing first, catalyst. So what you notice is that as you log in, then 2 of those slots will be empty. And I foresee, I think I'm just going to tell you the future here. I think my crystal ball tell me that somewhere in the future, maybe 2-3 years down the road, they will have something here and something here as well. Then make it cover all the area because these 2 gaps are missing. But anyhow, forget what I said. You see these 2 here. One is called Catalyst, another one is called Flourish. So now costume is going to be just purely cosmetic. There won't be any fixes in it and so on and so forth. I think maybe they find that a lot of new player probably missed knowing that you can roll fixes into it as well. So what happened is that you have something called the Catalyst. That you can roll the affixes onto it. I'll show you in just a bit. And then after that, there's something called the Flourish. Now, okay, so the Catalyst is going to be like the costume core that you have now. What is changing to a costume core is that it's going to have different color to it. So for example, hang on, my magic is the core is called the Mystic. The Mystic Energies. Is it the what? Hang on a second. Well, this is a Cosmic Spirit. So they have different naming to it. Then this one become the genetic mutation. And after that, you have something called the radioactive isotopic. Well, to me, it doesn't really matter. To me, a core is just a core because I play this game from that angle. So you have different kind of tiers to it. Some of them is just like, these are throwaway pieces, I think. The purple one. So the purple one, they have the core. Well, some of them is cosmic. So you see a cosmic yellow sign there. Those are cosmic. So this was an invulnerable core that give the 25% kind of thing. So they change it into a cosmic tier to it. Some of them doesn't have any cosmic, just a normal one. So anything that you have, I can't really show you anything that I have here with the one. I think some of them has a 1,000 defense. It is still there, but I don't really have a lot of those. So some of these are like pretty junk, so you can just throw it away immediately. So I can I think after this update is live, I can throw away a lot of cores already. But by and large, it is going to be by the type itself, and if you do not have the cosmic tier, like the one that you see here, then you probably have to farm again and again and again. I think a lot of us will probably go into farming mode to get the better tier of the costume core. All right, so that become the Catalyst. So now catalyst, you can have the affixes to it, like last time the crit damage rating, crit, and so on and so forth. So you've been wondering, what happened to my magic? How come there's no core? So I don't know whether it is going to be like this during live or not, but you have to search for your core here. They dump it into your delivery box. So they managed to extract your affixes out, but they failed to put it into this catalyst slot. So if you log in, probably you need to search for your core. So this is Black Widow, this is Black Widow also, Gambit, and so on. So I need to find out because all these are being currently my hero were having it. So you have to look for your hero's core before you play the game, which could take a while. I hope I wish I could have done it before the video. My apologies. I want to show you. It's kind of a little bit tedious to. So there you go. So this is the one that I have. So now if you can see, all these crafted affixes are still there. So you still have those there. You just have to find out. You just have to go through here to search where things are. And I hate this one, by the way. It's like I don't need this anymore. Just go away. You can't click on anything. Like if you talk to one of these vendor, they have those things here to give you tips. So now this is the one that were your costume core, and you have it here. I kind of like this design because now I'm not compelled to buy different costumes to have different affixes, because previously I would have two costumes, one for health and one for say crit damage rating, one for crit as well for me to test. Now it's rather easy because you could have I think it's rather easy to farm different core here. Maybe I use this one for the health, more of the defensive kind of things, right? So it's kind of nice. You can swap things around. You can put the affixes to it as well. Now, so that is the catalyst. What about the Flourish? Now, Flourish, I think some of you may have been having a lot of spray, right? So during the Iron Man versus Captain America event, the Civil War event, some of you may have collected some of these things, and I kind of regretted to throw quite a lot away because I don't have enough stash. It eat up so much stash. This game compelled you to buy so many stash. So you can slot it here. This is called Flourish. Sorry, I mean, it's funny. The name is just so weird. I found it to my equal sign here. So I don't know. I don't know what happened to Flourish. Anyway, hang on. So I have a key binding here. There's something called a Flourish. None. Okay, sorry. I put it equal. I thought I did that. Yeah, so that is the one. So you can just walk around, and it's rather cute. I mean, I want this thing here. Apparently, there's some kind of it's rather nice. It comes off really nice. This one looks really, really nice. So I don't know. They have this as cosmetic. Probably they will sell it somewhere in the shop, which I can't encourage them rather than selling things that give me power, because I hate a game that you have to pay for power, which I'll talk a little bit about later. So I hope that will give you some idea on what is Catalyst and what is the Flourish. So if today you have all these invulnerable kind of core, I think it's not that bad because now you got the cosmic tier become like a shield to you to absorb damage. Just that it would not be as awesome as today. And I don't know, who knows, there may be other affixes as well for the cosmic tier. We have to wait and see. Alright, so I'm okay with this one, neutral. Either way, I think it's rather nice to have different core for me to sort around rather than different costume to sort. So now that covered the Catalyst as well as Flourish. So now you wonder, are there any change to crafter? Now, from the crafting point of view, in terms of Catalyst, same thing. I mean, you roll the 4 tiers of fixes to it. There's a range to it, by the way. So they show you the range, whether 89, 96%, 87%. Some of you ask me, why my damage so low? Sometimes you have to check whether your affixes are of a high value or not. Then you have the offensive affixes, same as before. You can re-roll the affixes as per the grade itself, same as before. You can transfer catalyst as well. You can transfer one to the other. All right, so it's quite easy. Then you could also randomize your costume. If you have 3 costume. Now you can't free up a lot of costume because I used to collect a lot of default costume during my prestige for me to test a hero. All this guy behind the scene, I do a lot of work, by the way. So yeah, this is something that I can now free up a lot of costume for me to craft, which is fine. Then any visual, like this one has the falling rose petals, then you can just transfer. So no change to it. So everything here will be just fine. Just that you don't have any size increase anymore, I think. Gear wise, and again, there aren't a lot of changes right now because the Omega tier gear hasn't really hit the test center yet. So as you can see, everything here roughly the same. I mean, all this upgrade gear. Now, then you have all this. Man, the pad thing is really, I don't really like pad. Oh, some of you ask me what the pad, the yellow one is. I really don't know because there's so many yellow kind of affixes these days. But things like if you keep moving, you gain whatever, something like that. I'd rather have a generic one, seriously, because I'm not going to have one pad for each hero, definitely not. But anyway, you still have all these challenge bonus and so on to go into. From a miscellaneous point of view, I mean, I'm very disappointed that the OD mark refund is still $800. I think that, you lose $200 OD mark for a massive update that you have no control of. They can just change anything, including a legendary weapon. So by doing that, you need to pay like 200 OD mark to make up for it. I think it's a bit harsh. I wish they could have changed the design. If I were Gazillion, vote me into it. I would say, okay, grade 70 legendary is 150, grade 80 is 300, something like that. And you can refund the full. I mean, it's too expensive anyhow. So many heroes. So that is all. As you can see, there are many things that are rather the same. The other thing that there's still transfer blessing, which I wish that they also drop it, because with all these changes, I would swap a lot of artifacts and so on. You could, this system randomize the affixes itself. Unbind gear now have two kind of like unbind kind of a way. One is through the matrix itself, matrix of unbinding. If you have a lot, then you can use it to unbind, or you can unbind this one as well. Now the good news is that you could now unbind Euroforged, but the bad news is that if these runes are in the wrong Euroforged, for example, if say I do not need to have the dupe inspiration for my heroes anymore, because hybrid doesn't quite make sense anymore because I want to go back to summoner, then you can't extract the runes out. You just have to make sure that you have another heroes of the same damage type that can take this one. Or you say that, well, this game is getting too hard, I need to use a defensive kind of Euroforge, can I extract the runes into it? No, I can't, which I kind of disappointed as well, because I think by right, with all this massive update, they should really think about those that use up all these rare runes just to enjoy the game, experience the game. I think this game encourages hoarding, which is good for them, more stash sales. Anyhow, shouldn't talk too much on that. Exchange wise is no more. I mean, you can see that you don't have all these credit chests anymore. So you could exchange for the upgrade token, and it's kind of like more upgrade token upgrade and stuff like that. And I mean, that's it. So this one become only 4 of them. All right, so that covered crafting. Now, team up, also one of the most controversial kind of change they have. Hero-wise, as a recap, there's no more PowerPoint. So, for some of you who has been away for quite some time, there's one thing that you will not have. And also, there will be no more hotbar dancing. Just you have to use up whatever space here. Aligned with many of those ARPG out there, that's number one, although... I mean that's a topic for another day. So they remove all the power ranks in all these power that you have. So they've done likewise for your team up as well. So team up now will have no ranks to it. So what they have done is that they will just fire off everything here. I believe you can't click anything here. So they will fire off everything here, which kind of like if you follow my guide on team up, I always say that the best thing is just to put one point everywhere, because face it, that's really the best kind of approach to it. And they sort of like they make it such a way that by default everything would just like they will just fire off every power here. All this cooldown power, they will just like do it. All right, so there's no change. And you see little like square icons here on the side. These are team up and is away kind of power, I believe. Yep, these are all the passive power. So if you choose this option here, benefit while team up is away, then all these things will make sense. And also some of this gear that give you like +1 rank for team up is away power, those are being changed as well. Those change to something else. So become a crit chance to benefit. So last one here, like look at the yellow text here. Previously is I think +1 rank, whatever to team up is away power, now become +10% crit hit chance to benefit while team up is away. All right, so at least give you some idea what things are and what kind of changes to it. I don't, I think this is still work in progress. So all this you can't really see properly, but they change it such a way that your team up will gain like a certain percentage. I think check forum. I think 1 or 2% per mastery that you have. I think That is one, and also I think 1% is it, and also each team up you have will have an additional 2%, provided the team up is mastery 60. So they will cap it to 50 team ups. So if in your roster, if you have 50 team up, then you can you have 100% kind of 100% kind of buff to your all the team up that you have, which is very neat. Now, of course, you can grind for it, but I wouldn't kind of advise unless you have a lot of time playing this game. When you have extra Eternal Splinter, I would probably encourage you to unlock heroes instead, because you can play a hero, but you can't play a team up. So it is always more economical or worth it to buy, value for money to buy team up rather than buy hero. That's one of those things. So it is a bit of a pay for power in some sense, because you could grind for thousands of hours. I'm not joking, right? Because each one of them is about 400 to 600 Eternal Splinters to unlock one of them. If you unlock 50 of them, provided that some of them, of course, is free, but that would a lot of hours of grinding. If not, then you can just pay for it. Just pick up one as and when you like it. I don't really like the system like that, because I want to unlock team up whereby I really want to see them as a pet. They don't really do much, but I mean, they do something. They do power and stuff like that. What I mean is that during the fight, I can't really see what they're doing. That's what I meant most of the time. So they're more like a pet that follow me around here, just like that. So in a way, yeah, I mean, that's just, it is what it is. I'm just a reporter here, not really too into the commentation here. All right, the next thing is the slider itself. So each one of them, like I think they're going to get rid of this one. I'm not quite sure. But like Times Square, you can have the normal, you can have the heroic and super heroic. They haven't unlocked this too. So I suppose there'll be more, and I presume this up and down hero would allow you to go into a second tier, third tier kind of thing. So in a way, it is good that you can pick your own kind of like difficulties and play along with it. Now, of course, what concerns me is that this game has always been a very casual game. You can buy and large, you don't need to trade if you don't like to trade, because I personally dislike bargaining and trading. I know some do, but I do not like to bargain and trade and spend time just sorting out inventory and trade with others and trying to make profit out from it. So that's not my gameplay. So I like this game as of it is right now, and I don't like to rely on too much on other people help me farm gear, like some other game as well that help me farm gear so that I can do my own stuff. So now with all these increased difficulties, what it really means, it could be that you may need to, because Infinity system has quite a lot of power in it. So it could come a point whereby you say, oops, I can't really do anything better, because either A, I don't like to trade, or B, I may need to probably have some booster to get more infinity point, because I found that I can't go any higher. So that could be a case as well. Then you end up paying more to get more power. That's how I feel. But anyway, so that is one. And next one, of course, is the forgotten device, ancient forgotten device. So some of you has been collecting a lot of like cube that increase your power rank, star tech cube. So those would be gone together with anything that you have on the, say, previously you may have owned up some of these for the Recon device. Like for me, I have 95 Recon device that changed into this like a ancient forgotten device. So you could get a whole list of stuff here, I think like the Olays, an old version of me. No, just kidding. Then you have other boxes as well. Lucky as well is ancient forgotten device. You can get Lucky is nice, man. Some of you ask like, wow, how does I really want to get a Lucky, and Lucky is like Lucky is like a little dog that eats pizza. So that's really cute. So that is one that let me just go back here. Then you can have Lucky or the cow as well. That's pretty cute as well. Then you have the random spray, also very nice, because they have the just now you saw the Spider-Man, which is this one here. Then I mean there are some pretty nice ones as well that you can collect some spray. If say that I'm fed up with all the pets and I've got enough pets to do this and that, then you have the other things as well. If you like to various kind of boxes for various kind of like stuff that you may or may not want. All right, so that is I covered the ancient forgotten device. Now the last but not the least of the attribute, least list on my favorite topic. Well, no, mobility is my least favorite, but attribute is somewhere quite close, because I don't think there's anything wrong with today's attribute. I think today's attribute design is really good for all heroes. It's intuitive, easy to understand, easy to gear. But now it becomes something like this. Durability. Okay, archetype. So if you have watched my quick reference guide for the archetype, hero archetype, you probably know what I'm talking about, because each hero will have something called the archetype. Like for this one, the archetype is a fighting energy. So I'm a blaster. As a magic, I'm a blaster, fighting and or energy. So these are the two stats that will give me 4%. Notice that there's nothing for summon ally damage. Again, I mean, as an archetype wise, I'm talking about. So the archetype, I'll put a link below on my quick reference guide video and so on, so you can take a look at that. But each hero will have a different kind of archetype, and with the archetype, you probably will want to boost a certain kind of attribute, maybe. All right. So for magic was energy and fighting. So my archetype is the fighting here and energy here. Now, what does each one of them means? Durability give you a defense kind of rating multiplier as well. So I presume when they design the hero, probably they want to have all the durability hero, a defense hero as well. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense, right? Would it? Then you have the strength. Strength is the D flat. All right. So that's D flat. Fighting is the crit rating multiplier. Wonderful stuff. Speed will be the dodge. And the energy will be the spirit cost reduction. Last but not the least, the crit damage rating. So I would say that if you look at the entire kind of where are the winners and losers and stuff like that. So I think fighting is pretty good as a winner there. I think intelligence is a winner. Fighting is probably very, very close to it. I have to look into a number again. Then the third one probably is energy. Okay, so these are. Then again, I mean, some are more desirable than the other. Then you say, well, what happened to all these like a defense dodge multiplier? Well, I mean, it only makes sense if your hero aligned to this one. There's no guarantee that you are given a strength kind of like a archetype, but you have a D flat as your passive or trait as well. There's no guarantee because they want to do it thematically, match your whatever that you're having. But yeah, so that is something to take note of. But then, what happened to the infinity system? Have they come to their senses and changed the color? No, they still want to make my reference guide very useful, because I have a reference guide for you to map a different color to some of these like like fighting is green, but green is speed here, right? So these are things that if you take a look at my guide, physical version of it, free of charge, then you can map all these things. No issue. So they still want the game to be quite a lot of mapping for you. So now there's no change really. I mean, for fighting, it's going to be you have to decide between fighting and brutal strike rating, provided that your infinity system is infinity points is still low. By that I mean 15,000 Omega points. No kidding, right? So because I think after 15,000 Omega point or equivalent, you probably get this one sorted. You get this one max. So once you get this one max, the rest of it just to make sure that you get the fighting here as well. So you have to pick between the two. I presume even if you're a fighting hero, you will pick this one. But if you're not a fighting hero, congratulations, you can get your brutal strike chance. So fighting is still this one, brutal strike chance. Durability is kind of like area and stuff like that. So same thing. I'm not going to go through everything here because it takes a while. Speed is going to be attack speed and stuff like that. And the intelligence is, well, basically health regen and spirit cost reduction and stuff like that. I mean, think about it, right? You have spirit cost reduction in intelligence, but you have the spirit cost reduction in energy. I don't know, man. I prefer things that are tidy, like make sense and align. I don't really prefer things that are just random. So I think their design is a bit random. Strength is some ally damage or reduction of damage. And of course, you would like to know whether energy is still crit. Yes, it is still crit. So if you're energy fighting hero and if your Omega point is below 15,000 equivalent, which is 1,500 infinity point, then you probably would need to compete between the attribute and the crit for the energy, and the brutal and the fighting attribute for the fighting, right? So But at least the fighting is still, like, either way you still win, because you either pick the fighting, you get crit, or you say, well, forget it, I'm going to get my brutal, and you lose a bit of crit, but you got brutal instead. So, but the energy is a bit of a loser here. That's how I see it. All right. So with that said, really, I mean, that's all that I have today. I am going to. What's my plan? I'm going to look into various heroes, but be patient with me though, because I have a full-time job and I'm also playing other games as well. But whenever I can, I would put some time. I just do one hero here and there to just showcase to you where things are, how are they doing, and stuff like that. I think this is going to be a very long process. Many of you ask when this game will be ready for prime time and so on. I always insist that come this anniversary in June 2017 will be a good time to come back, because there will be time when they finally roll out the first wave of change, second wave of change, plus all the bug fixes, balance, and so on and so forth. And June will be the time to come back. That's my take. Anyhow, do let me know how you feel about some of these changes as well. I'm always happy to be engaged, have a conversation, and talk about the game that we love. All right, see you next time. Goodbye.